I love all Marvel movies because there's a little bit of sparkle, there's magic, and there's a little bit of sense of humor in every film.
Yes.
But is this something that you feel while you're on set as a producer during production? Do you feel like this is gold?
On this film in particular, the cast had worked together before. The camaraderie amongst the cast, particularly between Chris Hemsworth and Tom Hiddleston, has evolved to the point where you do feel it on set. And where even when you're doing some very heavy scenes and Loki's in a dungeon and Thor's coming to ask if he can trust him or not, they have such fun together that it's almost like they're brothers in real life.
I am obsessed with Marvel movies. I actually ask myself every day why I'm not a superhero. But what is it like to be part of this Marvel world, and as the president of Marvel Studios, what is that like?
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of we take it seriously. Everybody at Marvel Studios, the responsibility of shepherding these characters to the big screen, and the fact that audiences have responded to it the way they have has been amazing and sort of keeps us going.
What do you think is the reason behind the success of all the Marvel films?
I want to think it's the characters. I want to think it's the fact that not only do we provide big spectacle and big action and a reason to sort of come out to the movies, but the characters, as they existed in the comics for years and years, are incredibly engaging and incredibly entertaining. And the casts that we have, we've been very lucky that they can bring them to life in an unbelievably iconic fashion.
And as fantastical as Thor is, there are some universal themes that remain common in our society still.
Absolutely.
And what are some of those themes that you relate to?
Well, listen, the movie takes place on numerous planets and has characters with outlandish costumes and incredibly futuristic, advanced cities. So you need to link to something. You need to find something that the audience can grab onto. And that, in this movie and in this franchise, is family. And is Thor's relationship with his father and his relationship with his brother and these elements that Ken Branagh did an amazing job on the first film starting, and I think we're continuing through Avengers and into this film in a way that really brings the characters to life, despite, as you say, the fantastical surroundings.
I know that after the success of Thor and the Avengers, you guys had this one big meeting at Marvel to sit down and where to take Thor next. Mm-hmm. I'm really curious, what happens in a meeting like that?
Well, it's a relatively close-knit group of people, and we just decide what do we think would be cool. What would we want to see next? And in this case, it was the end of Avengers, Thor and Loki. Thor has captured Loki, takes him back up to Asgard. What happens next? What kind of trouble is Loki going to be in based on what he's done in Avengers? And that's where this movie picks up, and we sort of wanted to carry that relationship through.
You stated that you always wanted Malekith as a villain to pit against Thor, right?
When we were working on the first movie, the Walt Simonson run of the Thor comics was a great inspiration to us. And he created Malekith in that run, and we didn't think there was room in the first movie for him, but when we we're told we're going to have an opportunity to do another movie, he was absolutely the first choice. Because we wanted a bad guy who was driven, who was very focused on his villainy, whereas Loki in this movie is slightly more ambiguous.
I thought that he looked awesome.
Good.
Did you ever
Good.
sit in on one of his sessions getting makeup and hair done?
Yes, and of course sitting with him on set, and you very quickly get used to that makeup. And now when I see him out of the makeup, I go, oh.
Does it change how you kind of act around him when he is in costume?
Maybe at first.
Do you forget who he really is?
Maybe at first, after the first few moments.
Then
but he's such an amazingly nice guy that you quickly see the real him.
Made in Hollywood.